Okay. Well, that was a big win. That was a big win for the program. That was a big win for Arizona football. That was meant a lot to our team today. It meant a lot to our Southern California players, which we have, I think, 26 of them. It meant a lot to our staff. It meant a lot to every player on our team. It meant a lot to Jaden to come back after the game he played a week ago and go 22 for 28 and 320 yards or something, and six for six in the red zone, no turnovers. Meant a lot for our defense to get the stops they got. For Coach Nansen, I'm sure it was personal, and did a fantastic job, as did Coach Kafusi in their preparation this week. But in the end, I would give it the credit to our players. Our players, that was a fun game. Our players played hard, and they got to enjoy it in the locker room, which was awesome. And then we have 2 weeks left that are guaranteed to us, and we're going to do everything we can to find a third after that. So we're excited, and that was a very good football team we just beat, and we know that. And it's a top 10 team in the country, and we went on the road and won it. We're very proud to say that we did that.
What do you think of the defensive game plan by Johnny tonight?
I think it was pretty good to hold that team to 28 points. It's probably one of the top 5 explosive offenses in college football. They've been scoring at a ridiculously high number each week. They've been doing this now with Dorian for 5 years. They have Chip is a fantastic offensive coach. Dorian is an outstanding quarterback, and to hold that team to 28 points, Johnny, the whole defensive staff, and the players did a great job.
What do you think? Go ahead. How important was it just to finish in a game like this?
To finish?
Yes, finish.
Yeah, finishing was huge there. We got, to stop them on 4th down, then to drive it and use, I think, about 4 minutes of the clock, make them use their timeouts, convert on 2 third down short yardages, to get ourselves in a situation where it was 4th and 5 on the 6. I felt at that point we were going to kick the field goal and make it a 1-touchdown game. They had no timeouts. There was going to be a minute left to go up 6, and then for our defense to play the way they did, keep them in bounds. I don't think the clock stopped once, but then for a 1st down. So every time that they caught the ball in the middle of the field, we got to tackle them and use all 12 seconds, 14 seconds, and two big time plays.
How big of a factor was the pass rush tonight? You guys had 3 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and you pressured him on both 4th down plays.
Yeah, I mean, you answered the question, right? We had 3 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and pressured them. That's the difference, right? That we've been, we had a turnover today. So the last 2 weeks now, we've had 2 turnovers. We've had 3 turnovers, 3 takeaways on defense. This week we were +1 because we had no turnovers on offense. We had 3 penalties on the game. We had 3 sacks. We went a span that we weren't getting sacks, we weren't getting pressures. And if you notice, there's a enormous amount of new players coming in, and you can see Isaiah Ward and Sterling Lane and Jacob Kangaika and Ty pressuring the quarterback, and then that's allowing Jalen Harris and Keon Bars to be fresher and Hunter Eccles to be fresher. But I looked up there and I saw Ty get a sack. True freshman from Southern California get a sack. I mean, it was awesome. Isaiah Ward in there, Deuce Lane in there. We're playing with 9 from true freshmen in this game, I believe it was, which got to be the most, I would think, in the country. And to watch these guys perform, T-Mac, another touchdown. So pretty cool to see.
And what did you make of T-Mac's touchdown?
Really cool play. I think the play in general, T-Mac's always going to make great plays. I think Jaden made some special plays today. I mean, there's some things, they're not coachable. You can't say, hey, spin around, run around, go backwards, come back forward, go backwards again, run around to the right, and then complete the ball 30 yards down the field. But I do say great job. But on the other side of it is like, that's what the really good ones can do. They can do things that are off schedule. And T-Mac, Mike Wiley on a scramble play, that was an unbelievable touchdown. Because he wasn't supposed to be there, but when he saw Jaden take off, we practice that now every week because we have to work with our quarterback and what his skills are.
How big of a factor was his scrambling? Because on that play to T-Mac, he only rushed 2 guys, kind of making sure that he wouldn't break free there.
Yeah, one of the biggest coaching points that we make is if a team is rushing less than 4, you have more time than you could ever imagine. So scrambling is actually, we want you to scramble but stay behind the line of scrimmage. We want you to use your time there. And he had a 2-man rush or a 3-man rush there. And there was no real benefit to go forward because that's 9 guys to tackle you, but you do have a lot of time back there when that happens. And that's when he was able to move around and make some plays, and that's pretty cool when that happens.
Charbonnet had a big night for UCLA. Was that your game plan going in to limit the rest of the team?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can have a game plan to eliminate that guy. I mean, he's a fantastic running back, right? So he's going to have a big game. You know, they're going to have guys that have big games. Dorian, you know, is going to usually have big games with his feet. But in this case, you know, Charbonnet's going to have a big game, and good for him. They're going to have a great run scheme. That's not surprising. But in the end, we limited it up to 28 points, and that was our game plan.
There were a bunch of fourth down decisions for both coaches, especially in the second half. You guys punted at midfield. At one point, then you went for it. They went for it a couple times. And then down at the end, it went 4th and 5, I think at the 6, decided to get the field goal. Can you just kind of talk through some of those calls that you made?
I think in each situation, they're unique to the moment. You can't really prepare for all of it. You can't kind of run through in your head all week long, like, okay, if it's 4th and 5 on the 6 and we're up 3, what are we going to do? If it's 4th and 2, you know, how are you going to play the game? And 4th and 3, we went for it, we hit Jacob, right? On another one, we punted it and we pinned it back to the 1-yard line, right? And some of it goes down to how you're feeling with the play call, how you're feeling with the protection, how are you feeling with what you're going to run and, you know, call in that situation. And then other times are gut. And, you know, I think there was a situation where we pinned them back and we thought that was as good of a play as you could have made. We punted from the midfield, we stopped them on the 1. But they drove down and scored a touchdown. Well, the next time, not going to do the same thing. So in that case, I felt like, all right, it's 4th and 3. This is the time that rather than kick a field goal, I wanted to go see and get some more points because I know who we're playing.
With 4th and 5 at the 6, you're up by 3. Did you think about going for it there?
I did. I made them talk me out of it. I said to the assistant coaches, you guys have 10 seconds to talk me out of going for it right now. Go. And no one said a word. But our quarterback said to me, just kick it, go up 6. So it's kind of what we went with. But I think that was the right decision at that time. It would have been a better move not to make that. I didn't want them to be able to just get, you know, we weren't kicking the ball very well on our kickoffs, right? But, you know, on the same token, it was like they could go 70 and tie the game. We could, you know, I was trying to play the whole game, the math game in my head. But in the end, I'm like, they have no timeouts. And they have a minute left, and our defense is playing great football.
When you look back on the second half, how big was Tia's block field goal?
It was a really big play in the game, as we know, because the game would have been 31 all. I thought the momentum there was huge, just to get the stop, to force them, and then we put our big block team up to get that block, and that was big. It was nice to have Tia back, and it's a big time play for him as a former UCLA player to be here and then get that block.
Who knows what's going to happen next week or the week after, but do you feel like this could be a turning point for the program?
I just think that we're in the middle of a build that we've been talking about all year round. I mean, we've said from the very beginning, I believe this is year 1. I think last year when we got here, we did a lot of different things structurally just to get back to ground zero. And then this year we felt like it was year 1, and we've won 4 games. We would like to win 2 more. But we're going to just continue to build and grow and look at getting better every week rather than focusing in necessarily on the final outcome, and just know that if our team continues to get better, more recruits will want to come here. And if more recruits want to come here, our team will keep getting better.
Did you get a sense of all this week that something like this could be coming from your team?
Yeah, our team expects to win every game they play. So I don't think that our team was any more or less surprised. They get more surprised, I think, when we don't win than when we do. And that's what we've tried to push to them over the course of this season. And they were excited about this one. It meant a lot. It really did. It meant a lot to all of us personally and professionally. And it was fun to watch our kids smile and dance in the locker room.
What happened to Jordan Morgan, and how did your offensive line hold up with that one?
That was a tough one because, I think he'll be okay, first of all. But we did hold him out for precautionary reasons to make sure everything is structurally fine with his lower body. And but I think he'll be fine. But we wanted to make sure of it based on a lot of reasons. And there was some things that we had to deal with. There was an opportunity that we had T-Mac on a shallow crosser that would have, on a 3rd down, that we wound up having a protection issue that we had to work through. And there was a couple things, but I thought Sam came in and did a great job. you're going against the guy had 8 sacks, and he battled and did a great job all game.
Jeff, did this, I know you talked about Johnny, but did this win more personal or more satisfying for you?
No, I think for all of us as coaches, it's our responsibility to put together the best possible plan for our players. And regardless of if you've coached at a team or not, I don't know if you've seen my resume, but I've coached at a lot of them. So I would just say in this case, for me, it's just a matter of, hey, our job is to play the best we can every Saturday. And it's my job to call the best game I can on offense and to prepare our team the best I can. And it's not personal in that regard as much as it's for a team to be able to get wins.
Even though you didn't score a touchdown on your last drive, how important was it to chew up the clock and just move the ball into kind of, chip shot football?
Yeah, it was critical. I mean, we had 34 and a half minutes time of possession in this game. And 4 minutes of it came in, or 3.5 minutes came in that final drive where we made them use all their timeouts. I didn't throw a pass, maybe one bubble or something like that, just to, because of the blitz that was coming. But other than that, we felt like that was the way to play this game. We felt like that was the way at the end. We didn't want to give them any time left. So for us to chew it up the best we could, we could have gotten a first down at the end on the 1, but we wound up on 4th and 5 at the second.
How would you describe the feeling of seeing that last pass, sailing through the air, diving attempt, balls to the ground, players running onto the field?
It's pretty cool. It was really cool, actually. And I'm excited for our players, and it was great that their smiles make all the difference in the world. It's why you coach college football, so you can go and look at the smiles of 18 to 22-year-olds that absolutely were ecstatic when the game ended.
You guys came out of the gate firing on all cylinders, going on 14-0. What do you attribute that to?
We're a pretty good offense, and I think that our players are very confident when they go out there. We have very high standards and high expectations to score when we have the opportunity to touch the ball. We were disappointed we didn't score the first drive, and we scored on the second and third. But our guys, it's their preparation and it's their willingness to work and watch tape and understand the opponent and try to get better every week. And we got a long, long way to go to be the type of team that we want to be. But we're 1 week better than we were last week.
You mentioned the impact of the new guys, the freshmen. Just how much is having that rotation making a difference, do you think?
I think it's huge. If we could have done it earlier, we would have, just to keep guys fresher. I think you could see the freshness in the pass rush when you could substitute more defensive linemen through. Really, I looked the other day. I think our 3 receivers have played the most amount of plays in all of college football, because we really haven't had an opportunity to substitute a lot of players on our team right now as we're building the depth. The group that we've been able to try to get more young guys in is at D-line. So when you start seeing Kingaika and Tai and Isaiah Ward and Deuce Lane and Deuce Davis, that's 5 true freshmen out of the 9. And that's pretty cool to get that. And Tia is a redshirt freshman.
One more question. Paris Sham didn't make the trip?
Yeah, we have medical reasons, so he should be cleared here soon, I believe. Everything's fine.
That's our time.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you.
You'll have Jaden, Delora, and Michael Wiley